Oh, welcome to KratosBI. My name is Chris Wagner, and today we're going to be talking about creating and managing views in Fabric SQL database. What the heck is a view? Why would you care about it? Well, we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about that today. Let's do it. All right. So, as always, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. All that stuff really helps feed the channel, and I'd appreciate it if you did that. Okay. Now, the reason you'd create a view is, or what is a view? A view takes what could be a very complex SQL statement and transforms it into a virtual database object that you can then run queries off of. So you don't have to worry about always maintaining that same logic in your queries. You can just really simplify your existence. It is fan flippantastic for as you're creating data models and as you're doing things in Power BI or creating paginated reports that have a real complex query on the back end, views make that much simpler. Okay. So we're going to go into the anatomy of creating a view right now. Okay. So this is our first example. We're going to be creating the view VW underscore customer sales. A great practice is to always give some sort of visual moniker to a database object that's a view, just so people can know. The reason being is views are just representations of SQL statements. Those SQL statements can be horribly complex and sometimes they don't perform very well. You want to know that you're querying a query of your data. Okay, it's just good to know that because you want to be mindful of what it is you're accessing versus a table, which is just has all the data stored in it in its transform and loaded state. This is going to include some transformations, right? Like as we can see right here, this customer sales view has this select statement with that includes a summarization of to create total sales. It's combining internet sales and the dim customer into one object that you can reference in other queries. Okay, so if I run this, right, and then I scroll down to my views, I'm going to see that there's a VW customer sales table right there. Okay. So there's the object that I just created. All right. Now, what's nice is I because this already has it's just querying data that already exists in my backend and my tables. I don't have to load anything into a view. A view is done. The tables are out there. And now I can run queries against that view and look at how simple it is. I'm just doing a select star from VW customer sales where total sales is greater than 5,000. Okay. I'm not having to do those weird group buys or halvings or any of that stuff, remembering how to define it. I can just write this very simple query in order to access that uh, backend view. Now, unlike stored procedures, views don't really allow for parameterization, right? You can't put a parameter in. But the great thing is, as you can see right here, you could treat a view like you can in a database table. So you can run queries against it. You can put limits on it. You can do a lot with this without having to worry about the whole parameter thing. Okay. Now, the T-SQL, if you ever want to change it, is you can just go in and you can write an copy my query. You can run an alter statement, right? So you can write it from scratch, alter view customer tables as, and then I can write my updated SQL statement there, or I can go uh, write to script to create. And when I do that, take a look at this. All right. So it's going to give me the current definition of the view, right? So you can see it's create view, VW customer sales as, blah, 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 right? So I could do, instead of just leaving it as create, I could say alter view, VW customer sales as, and then I could add in something new here. So I could add in concat. Whoops. I don't want to do it after last name. I want to do it after last name. as full name. And that's going to be our last name. Copy, comma, single space, last name, first name. Now, what I like to do when I have this, to make sure that this works right, I always like to run my select statement from within it before I run my alter statement. So I'm actually going to run this, make sure it runs. It's giving me the answers that I would like. Okay, Simmons Jack. Actually, I want to put a comma in there because that's a little confusing. When I do that, I hit run. Okay. Yep. I like that full name better like that. So now I can just go ahead and hit run on it. And I will have updated. I've altered my customer sales view. I think I have to hit refresh. So now if I do select 100 rows, boom, you can see right there that full name that I just created is now part of my table. All right. Now, real easy to go in and just drop that view is just a simple drop statement. So I could just, when I want to clean this up, all I do is run a drop statement and I'm good to go. Something to know, these views, or it can also help you manage a lot of like complex queries, complex joins, all that good stuff. A note, well, hang on, let me get back to full screen. You have to be very careful when it comes to security and your views. You need to make sure that your users have access to the view as well as the underlying tables. If they don't have access to the underlying tables and you have a query, they're still not going to be able to access the view. So be very mindful of that. So that can be really impactful for row level, column level, object level security. You can run into those things. There's a best practice of like I said, of making sure that you've got some sort of naming convention on your views, like a VW underscore in the table name, or just VW and table name. Make sure you have that. Do note, that you can't do an order by function inside of a view. You can query a view and put an order by on the results, but you can't order by a view. It's inside of a view itself. All right. Hopefully you found this very useful. As you're getting started working with databases and working with data, this views are an incredibly powerful way for you to get up and running. Anytime I have a paginated report, I like to have the object that the paginated report is using. I like to have that controlled by a view. I just find that works so much better than having the paginated report write some crazy query back to my database. All right. Hopefully you find this useful. If you did, make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, do all that good stuff. But regardless, I want you to have the best day ever. Peace. All right. I'm a consultant. All right. I work at Baker Tilly. If you need any help in the whole consulting area, let us know. All right. Over at bakertilly.com/digital, we've got a I need help form that you can go and fill out. Just fill that out. Myself or a colleague will reach out to you. We'll make sure that you get taken care of. All right. But if you think you can do this stuff, and straight up, I say it on every video, I got faith in you. I believe in you. I got 2 videos here to help you out. You've